morning again. Today's lesson is gonna be reading comprehension, but the main objective is different little bit. Most common problems. So in this lesson we are going to talk about the most common problems. Most of the students are suffering from reading, and even the ones who are going through the IELTS and the TOEFL test, they are suffering from the reading, and the lower marks are in the reading. So let's have a look at these problems, but first we need to deal with the lesson overview. So our lesson gonna be about 1, how can you deal with word class questions, and number 2, defining word family, prefixes and suffixes, and word root. We talked about this in the previous lesson, but briefly. Now we are going to talk about it more, and then we are going to practice dealing with the word class, the suffixes, prefixes, and the word root. One of the most common questions that in the reading text is to figure out the word class of a word. What do I mean by word classes? Nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. We tackled this before in the last lesson, but it was a little bit shorter. Now we will know more about it. When I say word class here, the noun, verb, adjective, and adverbs, we need to know these. This will help us not only for getting the meaning, also to know where it should be. Okay, and then we will get this through the reading the sentence itself, and that means reading through context. Here, the word classes. How can I go through this or have these solutions? The first solution here, to go through it through context, or by knowing the suffixes and the prefixes of these words. So when you know the word, you go through the word or reading the word through the context, you may get the word class of this word. Also, something helpful, the suffixes and the prefixes. Okay, let's take the prefixes a little bit away because it affects on the meaning more than affecting on the word class. So I think the suffixes is the most important one. Now, suffixes and prefixes. First, let's deal with the prefixes. 1, they come at the beginning of words. Another thing, they help understand what the word means. So they deal with meanings. There are some common prefixes here, such as irregular, illegal, untidy. And as I told you before, prefixes deals with meanings, so it changes the word's meaning. Now, let's move to the suffixes. Here, suffixes, they come at the end of the words to form new words. They help readers to change the word class, noun, from a verb or adjective, and etc., etc., etc. Okay, here, common suffixes, like for example here the word education. Most of the time "shin" comes for a noun. Okay, endless, hopeful. These are words, they are affected not by their meaning, they are affected by their word class. Again, for the suffixes and prefixes, you have to be aware of the following. Students have to memorize. As I told you before, you need to Open your pupils book, page 136, 137. Don't forget to memorize these prefixes and suffixes. This will help you not waste your time in the exam, because when you know the meaning of these prefixes and suffixes will help you go through these questions, because you have some questions dealing with the part of the prefix or the part of the suffix. For example, an, okay, what does it mean? They will ask you, and then you will try to find the meaning of the part an, or they will say able, okay, like capable or something like that. So you need to learn or memorize these things. This will be helpful for you to know the word class of the word and the meaning of some words. We have also part of the word family. As I told you before, we have word family, we have suffixes, prefixes, and the word root. The third part is the word root. What does it mean? A word root is a word or a word element from which other words grow, usually through the addition of prefixes and suffixes. Example, as we can find here, we have the word additional, adding, addition, and the word add. So here add is the root of the word all these words, which is additional, which are additional, adding, and addition. So one of the common questions that we are facing in the reading test, it is find the root of the word, for example, addition, and then they will ask you to find out what is the root. So now we're going to practice. The first question here, let's look at it. It says in the sentence, so we are dealing with the sentence, we are taking parts only. So that means we're going to read the question and the distractors and then go back to the text again. Number one, the sentence, in the sentence, surfaces to help free up valuable time. The word valuable is a or an, verb, noun, adverb, or adjective. Look at this. We have valuable, able. That means what? There's a suffix which deals with word class. Now, let's go back to the text. So here, so we need to read the sentence to figure out the word class of this word. If you didn't figure out the word class through the context, you may get it by knowing the word suffix. Here, let's have a look. It says here, more and more families are turning to maid services to help free up valuable time and keep their home looking neatly. Okay, so while you are reading here, valuable is describing what, or what is it? Is it a noun, or is it describing a noun, or is it an action? There's no actions here. So it is it an adverb? Okay, sometimes we say, most of the time, not sometimes, most of the time, the adverbs end with ly. Okay, so I don't think that it is an adverb, but try to find it. So you will read through context, you will get the word class of this word. Now, the right answer is what? Adjective. So the answer here for valuable is adjective. How did I get it? Through the suffixes. Maybe I will not get it through context, so I will use the second way. It is the suffixes I told you before. Let's find out more about this question. In this sentence, families have maids. Maids are basically to care for. So the word basically Okay, I told you something, I told you a clue, I gave you a clue for some of the words, and I say ly. Don't forget that. Is it a verb, a noun, adverb, or adjective? I think that you got it, but we need to go back to the text itself. Here in paragraph number 2, the word basically. The common reason why some families have maids are basically to care for babies and young children and the sick and elderly. Okay, so here basically through the context it shows that this word is describing the verb which is taking care of someone, and beside that the clue that I gave you before, the ly. So the right answer here is adverb. As I told you before, I hope that you noticed that. Now, let's move to the word root. The questions comes in this way. The root of the word peaceful is peacefully, peace, or peaceful. Okay, we will get the main word. We will take off the suffixes and the prefixes if there are any prefixes. And then we will try to find the answer here. So the answer here, I can hear the answer, yeah, it will be here, peaceful. To sum up, I think that maids help us to keep a peaceful life, especially if women are workers. But on the other hand, we should be aware of their crimes and their bad impact on our children. So the right answer is B, which is peace. Let's move to the other one. Here, the suffix able. As I told you before, sometimes we need to have these questions. We face these questions and you need to memorize the answers. So this will be helpful and never waste your time trying to guess. So the suffix able in the word valuable means, is it made of, relating to, full of, capable of being. So let's go back to the text itself. Here it's not, here it says valuable, which is up here, it will be clearer. More and more families are turning to maid services to help free up valuable time and keep their home looking neatly. Valuable here. That means valuable time. What does it mean? Okay, I said before you'll get the meaning through the memorizing thing. It is capable of being. The question here for the prefix. The prefix des is in the word dishonest. Here it plays with the meaning. So be aware that here it is changing the meaning. So this part, this prefix changes the meaning of the word honest. All of us know the word honest. Is it against? So this, is it against, after, cross, or not, or it can be opposite of. Let's find out. Read it. What is more? Most of the maids are dishonest and they change to be unfriendly once no parents are there. Okay, this one here, this one helps, that they say why they are dishonest, because it's they are changing their into unfriendly people while their parents, children's parents, are not there. So here the word is changing. What is the opposite of the word honest? It is dishonest. So you can know the answer now. It is not or opposite. To sum up, here today we talked about something, one of the biggest issues and problems that you are facing, students. So I hope that you will get every technique very well. Okay, so let's talk about it again as a summary. Okay, first let's talk about the word class. When you ever have questions like that, you need to read the question first, and then you need to get the word class through reading. So you will go back to the list, to the text itself, and read it, reread it again, read the part that you are having to get the word class of this word. And then you have the other one, which is the word root. And the word root here, that you are going to get the word, okay, from to get the suffixes and the prefixes and make it the only part that you are having, the main word here. Like for example, we said addition, additional, and adding. We have the word add. It is the root of this word. Now, also we talked about suffixes. So when you have these suffixes and prefixes, as I told you before, never forget to memorize as much as you can. You have these things in your pupils book, page 136 and page 137. This may help you to memorize, and it may be helpful for you. As I told you before also, prefixes change the meaning of the word, and suffixes change the word class. So be careful, students, and go through this carefully, and again read the questions very well and the destructors very well. Try to find the clues, and then go search to go back to the text itself and search. Thank you very much. I hope that my lesson was beneficial and enjoyable, and good luck, girls and boys.